Hi everyone, I'm happy to share this video for your easy learning and understanding process. Do not memorize, just understand the concept and master it. In my previous video, I have shared about human digestive system. In this video, let us take up a journey into human respiratory system. Watch the video, subscribe my channel, like and share it. Now, I have some questions for you. Have you ever wondered, how do we breathe? What happens to oxygen? How carbon dioxide is given out? How many breaths do you take every day? Else, have you ever thought, why do we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide? And for your wonder, the answer for all the questions lies behind the very important organ called the lungs. Let's learn about human respiratory system. Organs involved in respiration process are nose, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, which further divides into two branch structures called bronchus. Bronchus opens into right and the left lung respectively. The bronchus is divided into many branch-like structures called bronchioles. These bronchioles end up with air sac-like structure called alveoli. The lung has outer membranous structure called pleura. Just beneath the lungs is a thin sheet of muscle called diaphragm is located. Let's learn about the external structure of lungs. We have pair of lungs located on the right and the left side of the chest cavity. The left lung has two lobes. The left upper lobe and the left lower lobe is divided by oblique fissure. The right lung has three lobes, right upper lobe, right lower lobe, which is divided by oblique fissure. Also it has right middle lobe, which is divided by horizontal fissure. The pair of lungs is located inside the ribs. As I have explained, here you can have a clear view of the lobes as how it is arranged, like right superior, right middle and right inferior. And towards the left lung is arranged as left superior and left inferior. The interesting fact is your left lung is 10% smaller than your right one. Now let us learn about the process involved in respiration. What is breathing? What is respiration? Do you think both are the same? If you say yes, it's not. Then what is the difference between them? Let's learn. First, we need to know what is breathing. Breathing is the process of inhaling oxygen, which is required for the respiration process, and exhaling carbon dioxide, which is not required by the body. The process of breathing in oxygen-rich air is called inhalation, and the process of breathing out carbon dioxide is called exhalation. The number of times we breathe in air in a minute is called breathing rate. We breathe 16,000 to 24,000 times per day. We exchange 11,000 liters of air in atmosphere. When the body is at rest, the average person breathes at the rate of 12 to 18 breaths in a minute. The lungs by itself cannot contract and expand. It happens with the help of a thin sheet of muscle underneath the lungs called diaphragm. The picture clearly shows the expansion and contraction of the diaphragm. During inhalation process, the diaphragm contracts and the lung expands to receive the air in alveolus. The exchange of gases takes place. The carbon dioxide is ready to expel out. During exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes and the lung contracts and expels carbon dioxide. Now, knowing about breathing mechanism, let's understand the respiration process to know the difference. Respiration. Respiration is a chemical process where the food is oxidized, resulting in the generation of carbon dioxide, water, and energy. As this process happens inside the cell, it is called cellular respiration. This is the path taken by the inhaled air from nasal cavity to capillaries. Air inhaled enters the nasal cavity which is lined by the mucus and tiny hairs that trap the dust particles present in the inhaled air. From the nasal cavity, the air passes through the pharynx and reaches trachea. The trachea is further divided into bronchi, which leads into the either side of the lungs. In the lungs, the bronchi is divided into bronchioles. These bronchioles enter small air sac-like structures is called as alveoli. The alveoli are richly supplied with blood vessels is called as capillaries. The alveoli increase the surface area for the exchange of gases. The air in the alveoli has more oxygen than in capillaries. The red blood cell present in the blood capillaries attracts the oxygen from the alveolar sac and it carries along with it. Red blood cells contains hemoglobin which combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Meanwhile, the carbon dioxide present in the bloodstream diffuses into alveolar sac. Now, the carbon dioxide collected in alveolar sac is ready to travel through the bronchioles and reach the nostrils. The oxygen which is diffused from the alveolar sac into the capillaries converge together to form pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery, through which the oxygen-rich blood is taken to the heart and the deoxygenated blood from the heart is travelled to lungs. The oxygen and the food particles travels in the bloodstream to reach all parts of the body. Where does the oxygen go through the blood vessels? It is to the structural and the functional unit of the body called cells. It is a place where the cellular respiration takes place. The food in the form of glucose gets oxidized to give the byproduct carbon dioxide and water, and the energy is released in the form of ATP. Adenosine triphosphate is the energy currency for most of the cellular process, which helps in synthesis of proteins, conduction of nerve impulse, muscle contraction, and so on. Cellular respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Glucose undergoes glycolysis and forms pyruvate in cytoplasm, further which in mitochondria it is oxidized and gives the byproduct carbon dioxide, water and energy. As this reaction happens with the help of oxygen, it is termed as aerobic respiration. During this process, when we lack oxygen, the byproduct given out is lactic acid and energy is released. Mostly this happens in muscle cells. When this reaction takes place in absence of oxygen and gives a byproduct as ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy, it is termed as anaerobic respiration. Mostly it happens in yeast cells and bacteria. In this video, we saw in detail about the breathing mechanism and the respiration process. The oxygen which is inhaled, it is taken to the lungs, and from the lungs it is taken to the heart with the help of the blood vessels, and from the heart it is distributed to various organs in the body, where after the chemical reaction the carbon dioxide is taken back to the heart, and from the heart it is taken to the lungs, which reaches the nostril and released into the air. Hope you might have understood the respiratory system well. In my next video, I have clearly explained about the circulatory system and its relationship with the respiration process.